Yesterday was Easter. Yesterday, in Sri Lanka, there were bombings of Christian churches and hotels in the Christian part of the community. Today is Monday, following Easter, and though there were almost 300 people killed, let's look at what's not in the news. Hello, and welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel, where the party is just getting started. Current events looked at through a skeptical eye using science, history, and sometimes humor to explore the events of the day. Let's get down to business. This is Real Clear Politics. It's an aggregator of different stories. It's one of the places I go several times a day to see what's going on. I know others use Drudge Report and things like that. This is the one I use. What's not in the news? Well, okay, we have Sri Lanka here up in the top. Radical Islamist groups behind the Easter bombings, Sri Lanka says. International network linked. Nearly 300 killed on Easter blast hit churches, hotels in Sri Lanka. Police detained 24 suspects. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 stories. And this box is usually reserved for things that have happened most recently. All right. Now you remember also that the Notre Dame burned down on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. No, it was Tuesday. It was April 15th. Because it was the curse of April 15th. Okay, now let's go over here. Mueller, Barr, Democratic media trapped in anti-Trump, the path for the House Democrats after Mueller, Trump foreign policy doctrine, China isn't really cheating, Theresa May is betraying Britain voters, Easter, look at this, Easter attacks show Christians face worldwide persecution. So you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stories before you get to something about the Easter. Let's see, what else do we have? A high court case that could affect national life, taxpayer dollars, foot spiraling illegal immigration. Some of the stuff is like in the sky is blue. The world needs fewer Cersei Lannisters. Edelweiss and the media. Meet the Democrats' new voice on foreign policy. Collusion, delusion, the most absurd moments. Donald Trump's personality is an impeachable offense. That's funny. Who else can we go after if that becomes the standard? Why Bob Kraft's ordeal should alarm us all. The data behind the data bad moms need. Now let's even be more generous and go down to the editorials. What do we got here? The promise and perils of Bolsonaro's Brazil. Will the census count all of America? Yeah, if it's up to the lefties, they want to count Canada, they want to count Mexico, they want to count South America, they want to count them all, baby. Count them all. Instead of saying, well, the census count all of the United States. Democrats' deceit and the truth about Trump's tax cuts in the age of Amazon could seriously rise again. What am I doing this for? Why am I reading all these? Because look what's not in the news. What's not in the news is an attack that killed almost 300 people, except for the 8th story. This was an organized attack as far as we can tell. It has to be organized because it was several different places that all blew up at the same time. When that fellow in New Zealand, when he went in there and shot up all those Muslims, it was the story for at least a week. And it was one guy who was completely off his rocker and obsessed with doing horrible things. It deserved to be covered. Absolutely. But so does this. This is a planned attack that killed 300 people. But it's Christians. The media, by way of evidence, doesn't care when Christians get killed. They don't care that they were killed on the highest of holy days in Christianity. The media doesn't care. The media did care about Mueller. It still cares about Mueller. 2 years of being told there was collusion. No evidence. None. Oh, you're forgetting about the dossier. The dossier was baloney, and even over here it says report. Officials doubted the key dossier claims earlier than previously known. 2 years of no evidence, and they're still pumping out the garbage. Barr's Mueller report was disgraceful. Yeah, it was, because he gave the Democrats more than they asked for. He shouldn't have done that, because clearly they're never going to be satisfied, because it's not about the Mueller report. It's about Donald Trump's personality as an impeachable offense. That's what it's really about. And that their precious Hillary couldn't win with all of her cheating, and they still can't win with all of their cheating. But the point is this: Covington, those high school boys were beaten down in the media. Beaten down on completely false charges. It was the other way around. It was the Indian dude who got in their face, literally got in their face, like not a metaphor, got in their face. The media hates Christians. Oh, and those Covington, let's not forget that's a Catholic school. Hello, believers of Christ. They hate Trump. They hate Christians. They don't cover them. Oh, but they do love women. Oh, they do. At me too, at me too. Really? Then why hasn't Virginia been in the news in months when that fellow is accused by 2 professors who have actual corroborating evidence, unlike Ballsy Ford with Kavanaugh, who had zero nada on her side. In fact, all the people she called out to say, hey, he touched me when I didn't want to be touched, when we were all drunk. Well, it turns out all of the people she picked out corroborated his story. And his story was, I don't have a clue what you're talking about, lady. I don't have a clue. And neither did they. So there was corroborating evidence that supported Kavanaugh. Where you've got New Zealand, that they talked about it for a week, and they should have. No more Notre Dame. Sri Lanka is the 8th story, and there's only one, not including this immediacy box, and the immediacy box will fade really fast because that's how immediacy works. Look what's not in the news. Things that matter. Christians being targeted and killed in the hundreds. Nobody cares in the media. Virginia. A guy forces a woman to, I'm not going to talk about it on this, it's that vile, forces a woman to do that. And then another witness comes up. Still there. The guy with the black face. Honestly, I don't care about the black face. The list I've already done on another video of all of the performers who have done blackface, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. They only care when they can use it against you. They tried to use it against him because they wanted the lieutenant governor, who's black, to be promoted until they found out, oh, he likes to force women to, oh dear. And then it's like, then the next guy also did blackface. And, you know, as somebody else once asked, how many people do you know that have done blackface? No, really, how many do you know in your life that have done blackface? And there's 2 in the same body of government. Wow, that's just weird. But then again, if you live in Hollywood, you can name several. Look them up if you don't want to go back to my video. Look them up yourself. There's several. Billy Crystal, no, I'm not Ted Danson. There's lots. Look what's not in the news. All this Mueller. Lies from the beginning. No evidence. There's no need to be covering this. There's every need to be covering this. And that's what's not in the news.